It's 4th of July weekend and America is back on its feet and open for business, baby! Well, that was short-lived. I'm Norm Macdonfelt, the realest news anchor on TV. And we're back to phase 1. Come on, America! We're supposed to slowly start getting back out into the world. Not yelling, "Kicker!" and blasting some Biggie and hitting the beaches like every day is MTV's spring break. I guess America isn't really known for doing anything slowly. Well, except that, President Donald Trump can say the reason that we have higher numbers of people confirming positive for COVID-19 is because we have more testing, which is true. But if you look at the overwhelming numbers of cases pouring in, we as a nation are clearly not taking the precautions that we should be. It's like a mom saying that if she doesn't look at her son giving her daughter noogies, that they won't be as bad. And that they will eventually stop. It will not! The noogies will get harder and worse, leading to wet willies and wedgies, I assure you. Trump doubled down on the blame game this past Tuesday when he tweeted, "As I watch the pandemic spread its ugly face all across the world, including the tremendous damage it has done to the USA, I become more and more angry at China. People can see it, and I can feel it." I'm gonna keep on going with the analogies because, analogies are fun. Remember that mom from the analogy before about noogies? Trump is that terrible mom. But now she sees a fire at the neighbor's house, but does nothing. She goes back to watching Real Housewives of Butthole County and chugs her 12th can of Diet Coke for the day. The fire spreads to her house, but she still doesn't care. She stands face to face with the fire ablazing, and she pours kerosene on it. Her kids are still inside the house, while, she's busted out of that place, and the fire's growing out of control, and all she wants to do is just yell, "Damn you, neighbors! This is all your fault!" Trump isn't the only problem. He's not helping. He's really not helping. But we could do better. We need to do better. I get it. It's the summer and you want to go out in the world and just party and bullshit. You don't think that I wanted a hot girl summer? I bought booty shorts, but it's canceled. Just listen to Megan Thee Stallion and twerk from the safety and comfort of your own home. It's the responsible thing to do. Maybe we gotta Mean Girls this year and stop trying to make 2020 happen. In honor of today being the 4th of July, we now turn to our correspondent, Wingo, to give us a brief history of the holiday.
Thank you, Norm. I'm Wingo the Bat, and I'm here with my first installment of Weekend Puppdate presents His Story, America. I'm being a little clever here calling it His Story. This isn't a case of mispronunciation just for the sake of mispronunciation, which is something I admittedly enjoy, or as most people say, enjoy. I'm saying His Story because the popular version of the story of America is one in which the main characters are, let's face it, all men. In fact, I think we can craft a pretty good metaphor for America as a gym, full of juiced up white dudes trying to say that the gym is theirs, and theirs only. But the gym is full of people of all different shapes, sizes, colors, and genders, all working things out in their own ways, trying to sculpt themselves into the best they can be. So you have a lot of very aggressive, blustery bro dudes who hear about this gym, then they join it, and then they come in on their first time and act like they own the place. and all they want to do is a bunch of bicep curls and maybe some bench press or something. And they make fun of all the other people in the gym for doing things like flexibility training, cardio, and more functional strength exercises like single leg deadlifts and stuff, because they don't like all that variety, or shall I say, diversity. You see where I'm going here? Which brings us to today. These dudes are like, you know what? We really own this gym if you think about it. I mean, we weren't here first, but we know best how to run this gym. And unless you're into biceps and bench press, your involvement at this gym is highly discouraged, and we will make it as hard as possible for you to enjoy any big gains while you are here. And so they lobby the gym company to cut funding for the purchase of things like rowing machines and yoga mats. But the other gym members are like, no way, totally off base, you bozos. Anyone with a membership can be in this gym, and I will flash my little plastic gym card in your face to prove it. We are all part of this gym. And lately you are seeing more and more of us join the gym, and you are getting pouty because of it. Oh, and by the way, you're not fooling anyone. We know you are juicing steroids into your butt in the bathroom, and that none of your gains are even real or particularly earned. So that's America, the gym, the his story. Back to you, Norm. Now get ready for some pretty vitriolic messages in the comment thread.
Thank you, Wingo. No one loves the good old US of A more than these next gals. Ladies and gentlemen, the Daughters of Revolution.
Old, white, and male politicians. Old, white, and male. All we get is old, white, and male. That's who we have to choose from. When I was talking to my gal pals, they asked who was right for me. I said I consider anyone if they're diverse, not part of AARP. Old, white, and male, despite only being 30% of the population. Old, white, and male, that's who we vote on.
You know I spend every election all there to pick
To represent in our government, it's just
a bunch of white men, geriatric. No, I don't want a man who's in the twilight of his years. I want someone who can lead without using fear. They will agree to do what they feel is right for all of us in this country, regardless if we're white or wealthy.
White and male, old, white, and male politicians. Old, white, and male, that's all we get is old, white, and male.
Protests calling for an end to state-sanctioned violence against black and brown people are still going in nationwide. And corporations are listening to what people want. Hulu, for one, has responded by removing an episode of The Golden Girls where Rose and Blanche are wearing mud masks. What? The episode in question is the one where Dorothy's son Michael plans to marry an older black woman, played by Rosalind Cash, and her mother, played by the inimitable Virginia Capers. She disapproves because Michael is white. While the two mothers argue over the marriage, Blanche and Rose walk in wearing mud masks. Full disclosure, anyone who's ever met me knows how much I, Norm Macdonfelt, live for the Golden Girls. I'm a total Blanche. obviously, and a regular contributor to the Golden Girls Wiki. So yes, I'm a bit biased, but come on, Hulu! Do you think removing the work of these two legendary black actresses on TV, a show from the 80s, does anything to address systemic racism? How about greenlighting more shows and movies by black writers and directors, featuring more stories about black people on your platform? Or maybe just have even one black person on your executive team. Did they do any of that? No. They just did the Golden Girls thing. And they got rid of that D&D community episode. Oh, the first one? The first one? Not even the terrible one with David Cross? Hulu, you're not helping! Why do I pay you clowns $6 a month? In other news, Texas realtors have taken a step towards fixing their well-documented history of housing discrimination by removing dead restrictions that state that their homes could not be owned or occupied by any persons not of the white race. Finally addressing this problem that neighborhood associations have been complaining about for... Oh, no, never mind. They've just decided not to use the word master to discuss a bedroom size. Did they do the thing about the deeds? No. No, they said that's too hard. Texas, you have one of the worst histories when it comes to discriminatory housing practices. You have some of the lowest black and brown home ownership rates in the country. Texas laws have encouraged landlords to refuse housing opportunities to people with Section 8 vouchers, 90% of whom are black and brown, which means most of those people end up pushed into low-income, impoverished communities, which are then redlined to be removed from their voting power. Real estate agents have had immense power to positively and negatively impact black people in America. Read about that instead of posing for those cheesy bench promos. In June, a bunch of Texas real estate agents called black people thugs and animals. So, as Mama Macdonfelt used to say, if you're looking for something to do, there's plenty to do around here. Calling the master bedrooms the super duper big bedrooms is not what anyone is asking for. You're not helping. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go shove some cheesecake in my face and watch some Golden Girls on DVD. Screw you, Hulu. Tonight we have a special musical guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Adler.
Thank you, Weekend Puppdate. This is for you, man. So before this all went down, I saw an off-Broadway musical that was about football. And I feel like the writer of the musical, much like myself, didn't know much about football. So I'm gonna try to replicate a number from the football musical. I am playing the star, got her back. Here we go. Come on, boys. Let's play some ball. When I'm on the field, I feel strong. Hike, touchdown. I run past the line of scrimmage. I hear the fans applaud, but no one seems to know what it's like in my cleats. Whoa, did I just concuss? Not again! Life is a game, that game is football. Make a play, catch the ball, paint your face, spank a butt. Life is a game, that game is football. Oh no! Fumble. My God, fumble. Oh, can you believe a football was there the whole time?
final story tonight. Due to mass outrage concerning mask wearing, a group calling themselves the Anti-Mask League has formed and will be holding an anti-mask meeting next Saturday, January 25th. Wait, Saturday, January 25th? Oh, my bad. This is from back in 1919 during the flu pandemic when people thought masks infringed on their civil liberties and decided, they didn't want to wear them, and that the virus came back with a vengeance and was much deadlier, eventually killing more than 675,000 Americans and killing around 100 million of the 500 million that it infected worldwide before it was over. This brings us to tonight's segment of Breaking the Norm.
Breaking the norm, breaking the norm, breaking the norm, breaking the norm.
Governor Mike DeWine of Ohio, during a press conference, said, "If we want to be able to go out and live our lives, this mask is a symbol of freedom." A symbol of freedom. And that's all that should be said. Done and done. But I wonder what a random middle-aged entitled white woman from Florida has to say about mask wearing.
I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
Yikes! Note to self, don't ever sit in any chair that woman sits in. Can you imagine the snail trail she leaves on a public bus seat? Yeah, you're right. She has probably never ridden a public transit. But that's just one isolated incident. I'm sure, if you were going to a public place, like say a grocery store, and you were asked to wear a mask so you can enjoy the privilege, not the right, to shop there amongst other people, you would comply, right?
Call the police.
Okay, here's an idea. Everyone who wants to ignore the pandemic can go over here, and they can all visit the same grocery store and businesses so they can, quote unquote, live freely. They can ignore science, medical advice, and common courtesy and roll the dice on the game Darwinism, Survival of the Fittest edition. They'll angrily ask us, "Darwinism, what's that?" And we'll say, "Hey, no need to worry. Just keep doing what you're doing and continue with your life, following that motto you learned from a Bruce Willis movie, live free or die hard." This can't be the norm. Have we become so pampered that when a small discomfort like wearing a mask when you're in a public place sends us over the edge and into a tizzy that we throw a fit like a toddler who doesn't want to put on shoes before they go outside and proclaim that our rights are being trampled? Break the norm. Wear a fucking mask.
Breaking the norm, breaking the norm, breaking the norm, breaking the norm.
The news can be depressing and make us angry. To remind us of the golden rule we should all follow, before we sign off tonight, we have to turn to our correspondent, MC Teach, with a musical message.
Everyone's got problems, even me and you, and we all get sad, but you know what you can do? Be nice to people when you know that they're down. Smile, say hi, let them know you're around. Help someone who's blue get back on their feet. Let them know they're the best and they can't be beat. We've all got our differences, the world can be wild, but being nice to people never goes out of style. So be nice to Lulu, be nice to Lil, be nice to Poppy and Jack and Jill. Be nice to Leo, be nice to Larry, be nice to Harper, Zoe, Olive and Harry. Be nice to Charlie, Addie, and Fran. Be nice to Audrey, Jay, Gina, and Stan. Be nice to your mom and dad. Be nice to your friends. Be nice to beginnings. Be nice to the ends. No need to be rude, mean, or uptight. In the end, we're all the same. We just see through different light. Be nice. Peace.
That's it for this week. I'm Norm Macdonfelt reminding you that no news is good news. Good night.